All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a 2v2 human vs. undead matchup. Romantic and 120 going up against Happy and Sock. Romantic, also known as Fortitude, spawning under the name No Name, and 120 on what I will call the west side as the red human undead team, going up against Happy, who is spawning under the name Aurora Happy, and Sock down right here. Should be a great matchup. Four players who, well, can absolutely beat me any day of the week, and I would still be proud and happy to just play against them and study my replay to see where I went wrong, only to realize I should be playing people of my similar level and caliber, because, well, that's where you're going to learn more, right? Like, learning against evenly skilled players, finding your mistakes even when you win, and capitalizing on the mistakes that your opponents give you at your level. That's the best way to really advance in, well, any game, Warcraft 3, or in life as well. Alright, let's go ahead and break things down. We are looking at Undead, opening things up. There's that Altar of Darkness a little bit later. Archmage is going to be able to pop itself on out. Meanwhile, it is an Archmage off over here. We are looking at a Death Knight by Happy, followed by... is it going to be a Death Knight and Crypt Fiends coming in from 120? I do believe so, yeah. So that's a little bit delayed. And by a little bit, I do mean about 30 seconds. So that Death Knight Crypt Fiend opening, I haven't seen in quite a bit of time, at least not in 1v1 matchups. Perhaps it's trying to be used in a 2v2 matchup since, well, there are going to be so many footmen out there on the battlefield already. One footman getting a quite nice, easy... No, I do not want to... Don't show me again. Wow. Pop-ups, thank you very much. Yeah. Anyways, Archmage going to come around, going to perhaps drop some water elementals, take some of this damage from this Forest Troll Berserker creep camp. It is a 4-3-2 creep camp. This is not going to give level 2 to the Archmage. That seems a little bit too far. Let's get closer to the action. Meanwhile, we are looking at, well, Sock trying to clear out this gold mine here. This gold mine should be easy to clear, and we'll see if an expo will be set up. Meanwhile, Kobold Geomancer is doing some slight attacking here. Death Knight going to go ahead and do some fighting. Skeletal Minions going to try to, well, make their way on inside here as we see some Acolytes getting some damage. One back Acolyte already. Death Knight will not be able to nuke that, as that Death Knight now, well, or that unit trying to retreat all the way back. And, well, there's a Death Coil to save a skeletal minion. Both sides actually just exchanging blows back and forth. One low hit point footman amongst all of these units inside here, as the Nerubian Tower is still not up. All right, little bit of damage there. Footman trying to do a bit of harass. We're looking at some more skeletal minions trying to engage. One Acolyte right there as well. You know, make sure that there isn't... Well, there's a Death Coil. That's going to be a little bit late there, as the Death Knight does get some, well, skeletal minion experience. Nerubian Tower is up, and with that Nerubian Tower being up, that skeletal minion looks like it's going to get taken down pretty quickly. 48 experience now for that Death Knight. New skeletal minions already out on the battlefield here. We're looking at, wow, Romantic actually clearing out a very difficult creep camp, one of the orange ones, but in the center portion of the map towards his opponent. This is going to be a big deal, as that means that Romantic was able to hold on to this orange creep camp there to perhaps level up a second hero or save that for his partner. All right, coming back around, and no expos to be had. Archmage is going to be dropping water elementals. I do believe so. There's a water elemental. There's some piercing damage onto that scout tower, which is trying to be upgraded, and that is a lot of repairs underway. Look how quickly those hit points are coming back. But look at how many workers are right there. A lot of gold lost per second, perhaps, as it is going to be able to hold on. Water Elemental down. Now level 3 for Sock, as Romantic and Sock are going back and forth in this human-human fight down on the southern side. Meanwhile, off to the north, 120. Well, trying to hold off against all of these units. Acolyte looks like he's going to be able to hold on here. Skeletal minion trying to chase after this Acolyte. Acolyte seems to be okay right now. You're going to see this Nerubian Tower. Acolyte now going to move away. A little bit more damage. One more attack. Yes, going to go ahead and finish that off again. All right, Footman trying to chase after this, well, Footman of Romantic. Low hit point Footman back across here. Archmage may be able to drop in some water elementals, and one good water elemental drop is worth another, as this one scout tower going to easily get taken out. Arcane Vault trying to be built. Militia could have call to arms. Romantic going to, well, drop in some water elementals here, try to clean things up, but, well, and it seems like Sock has found more low hit point units and dealing a bit more damage. Archmage, well, does have full items. Meanwhile, this Archmage here doesn't. Boots of speed on both. They're going to be exchanging blows plus 10 damage versus plus 8 as they're trying to pick off each other's units. Meanwhile, off to the north side, Happy sitting at level 1. Well, 120 is sitting at level 2. Skeletal minions are easily getting cleaned up here on both sides. Both sides are just trying to gain a little bit of experience in this battle, as the Death Knight here does have a robe of Magi's for a little bit of additional mana. Archmage is going to be forced to retreat back here. Not going to be able to stick around. New Arcane Sanctums being built. Arcane Vault not even being bothered any longer, as, well, with the Arcane Sanctums already under construction, healing from a priest is perhaps better and longer lasting. That's a stacked 2v2. Yeah, definitely. Mountain King now out on the battlefield. Like to be I would like to be on well, replace any of these one players, and they'll try to play on BattleNet. Just absolutely get carried in any game, most likely. Archmage from the south now making their way off to the north, saying, you know what, Happy with Romantics, level 3 Archmage here, the Death Knight off to the north can finally do some creeping in peace, sitting at level 3, going up against level 2. Archmage of Sock now shows up as well, exchanging of blows again. There is a water elemental drop, as the Death Knight could be in a little bit of trouble. Low hit point Crypt Fiend does find a Death Coil. Both sides exchanging blows as Lich comes in with the Frost Nova, and that could be a problem. Death Knight now down to 108 hit points. Lich could come back around the other side, perhaps. Well, one good Icy Blast deserves another, as the Mountain Kings are out on the battlefield. Mountain King, good Stormbolt down on the Archmage. Archmage now trying to retreat back. There is that Stormbolt. There's a surround. Archmage in trouble, down to 200 hit points. Scroll of Town Portal quickly going to teleport back to try and protect and heal up here. Is it going to work in time? Yes, the Archmage needs to buy a potion of healing. Mountain King is back there to perhaps try and stun any units. All right, timing on this fight, absolutely crazy. Priest now out on the battlefield. There's that heal that we were talking about earlier. That Priest will get that Archmage back up. Meanwhile, both sides trying to fight near creeps here. Who's going to come out on top? There goes one water elemental Stormbolt onto a Footman. Footman not long for this world, easily taken out, but I guess taken out by the creeps. Both sides still fighting. There's a Frost Nova onto the Lich. Lich could be in trouble, now trying to retreat back. Death Knight doesn't have enough mana for a Stormbolt. There's a Stormbolt onto the Mountain King. Mountain King now has a potion of healing. He's going to use it in time, as the Mountain King could Stormbolt back the other way. No. Followed up attacks, continuing to fire around every which way. Death Knight doesn't Death Coil the Lich. Death Coils the Mountain King, hoping to finish him off, but no, the Mountain King also being supported by Priest in the backfield, able to heal up. All right, 8 minutes into this game. I would have said at the start it felt like 120 and Romantic had that slight advantage, but how quickly things change. Happy and Sock quickly building their army to what the composition that they wanted to be, able to shut down a level 1 Mountain King and, well, secure some easy creep camps. Now the Death Knight, the Dark Ranger, the Lich, and the Mountain King want to get to level 2 or level 3 quickly. They're going to be doing some creeping as the Death Knight comes across here, across the center. All right, there's a quick reveal. Archmage trying to buy some items, picks up a potion of lesser invulnerability. There's a Stormbolt onto 120. Are we going to perhaps see some silence? There's some exchanging blows. Archmage now trying to retreat back. Mountain King trying to retreat back. Footmen do have defend here, and the creeps are just attacking the red army of 120 and Romantic. Lightning Shield also getting placed down. It feels like even the map is against you, the things just do not work well. Stormbolt onto the Mountain King, but Mountain King with a plethora of survivability items and leveling up as one. Well, There's a, well, potion of invulnerability there to try and stick around just a little while longer. Militia also being brought over to the fight. 1 water elemental down, 2 water elementals down. The enraged elemental still causing a little bit of, well, a harassment here, as now the creeps are joining in on the fight on Happy. All right, so Happy and Sock now on the receiving end of some creep damage, as well as the southern enraged elementals could engage. Level 2 on that Lich here. Are we going to see a fight back the other way? There's a chain lightning bouncing across every which way and side, as we're going to see these enraged elementals get taken down. Perhaps Mountain King trying to get to level 2, the more typical way, by going after creeps. Meanwhile, well, 120 is still going after the center here. 120 could be in trouble. Death Knight, forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal, was down to 9 hit points before the Scroll Invulnerability came online and a little bit of healing happened. Enraged Elemental going up against a Water Elemental here. That will get taken down. Still no level 2 for the Mountain King. 5 experience shy. All right. Going to try and re-engage here. Sock does have an expo at that 3 o'clock spot. Armies are going to be gathering together once more. We are nearly 11 minutes into this fight here. Death Knight needs a lot more survivability. Lich should not be in the front part of this fight here. Mountain King leading the charge. Surprised that he can even afford to be there, as Militia now being called back over. Spellbreakers here. Level 2 now on the Mountain King. Finally, low hit point Crypt Fiend falling to the back. Obsidian statues. Well, plenty of healing going around. Dark Ranger getting the healed up again. Spellbreakers trying to chase after units. Footman Militia just, well, swarming all over the map, trying to pick off low hit point units. Any unit could get caught in the wrong part of the battlefield at any time and end up falling. There goes an Obsidian statue. A loss there, but it was low on mana already. Coming back around. Death Knight now trying to push back against the other way. Remember, Obsidian statues having to heal a larger army. A larger army and more heroes can run out of mana much more quickly, but that's where the Brilliance Aura comes in from that Archmage. Are we going to see a Stormbolt, anything to pick off a low hit point unit besides that Obsidian statue that fell right there? No, it seems like they are just going to be retreating. Now, Sock does have this expo, which is a big, big economic advantage. Crypt Fiend going to get taken down. Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Silence onto the Death Knight. Death Knight just standing there trying to shake off that damage. Going to perhaps come back the other way. Mountain King looking for an easy target to Stormbolt. Is he going to be able to find one? Well, low hit point Crypt Fiend already backing up here. Both sides fighting. Spellbreakers off to the side here. This Mountain King shouldn't be in the front line if he's not Stormbolting anything. But now dealing with all of these Spellbreakers. There's a Stormbolt onto him. He's going to be taking some feedback damage from those other units there. But perhaps a couple of priests are going to get cleaned up as well. All right, Mountain King still okay for now. Temporarily invulnerable. Could try to land another Stormbolt. No, Crypt Fiend able to back away. Lich could be in trouble. No, invulnerability potion as well. All right, Spellbreakers continuing the fight. There's a Stormbolt, and now another shake off with another potion of invulnerability there. Archmage needing to get to level 4 as Sock's Archmage gets to level 4, and that is going to be a big, big boost for the teal army of Unhappy and Sock. Units trying to retreat back in this narrow corridor. Whoever has more range units generally wins this type of fight, as more of their units are going to be in position. Spellbreaker is going to try and engage here, but fighting off both to the side, and the Archmage 4 experience shy from level 4, looking to give Brilliance Aura. Sock helping to win the gold fight and also win the economic fight as an Abomination, now ready to join in on the battle. All right. 120's Obsidian statue should be nowhere near that front line. Perhaps just follow that Archmage now. That seems like the better call. Follow the Archmage, as the Archmage is the only way you're going to be getting more mana onto that Obsidian statue to be useful. All right. Killing of critters important on a map as tight as this. Difficult to find any units to kill, and here we are. Here's a rogue wizard mercenary camp. We could see a level up on the Archmage, and then maybe if the Archmage backs away, a level up on the Mountain King. No, Dark Ranger going to be taking some of that precious experience as well, so Mountain King will be staying at level 2. Scroll of the Beast left behind here, pick up by the Mountain King, and well, there is the majority of the creep camps already taken. Does Romantic and 120 know that their Sock has been holding on to an Expo. 7,300 gold out compared to 10,000 at the start. 2,700 gold already mined. About 4 minutes of mining. Death Coil, Frost Nova straight up onto the Mountain King. As the Mountain King trying to keep a little bit of distance. Spellbreakers trying to retreat back here. Both sides still fighting as we're looking at some Spellbreakers getting an unlucky bashed here. More fighting off to the north. Who's going to come out on top? No scroll. There was a Scroll of the Beast used by the teal side Mountain King. I thought he had a Scroll of the Beast, or perhaps it was control magic stolen. All right, Archmage being forced to retreat back here, teleporting away from this fight or into the back line. Mountain King now once more getting stunned while trying to shake it off again as the Archmage drops a Water Elemental in that front line spot, protecting that Mountain King. Abomination gets a Death Coil, trying to make his way through, but finding it difficult to get past all of these units. There goes a Frost Nova, level 3 now on the Mountain King as the Abomination falls, as both sides are still fighting and trying to come out on top. Well, difficult to keep these Obsidian statues topped off on mana, even with the level 4 Archmage, as a Death Coil finds a Crypt Fiend just in time. Both sides still fighting. Water Elementals being dropped across here. Dark Ranger in trouble. Dark Ranger down to dead as we get level 3 to the opposing Dark Ranger. Alright, still, Crypt Fiends continuing to poke apart. Battle of attrition on both sides. Difficult to tell who's winning, as the Obsidian statues of Happy are still nicely topped off with only 1 for 120. Mountain King trying to retreat back. Another Frost Nova right there. And, well, we're going to see a Crypt Fiend fall again. Stormbolt onto that Mountain King, but he's going to be able to shake off that damage as you see a tactical Scroll of Town Portal to retreat. Priest is taken down. Water Elemental left here. So much gold mined out of that gold mine. Almost 5 minutes of mining completely uninterrupted, or more than 5 minutes of, more than 5 minutes of gold mined uninterrupted. 61 and 48 going up against 41 and 60. Army sizes are about the same. It is just that extra 10 gold a second that Sock is collecting, and perhaps going to start transferring off again. Alright, Skeletal Minion trying to scout out that location. Well, just says, you know what? Forget it. Let's just try and reveal. Quickly reveals the location and says, they still don't have an expo. Alright, without that expo, well, what can really go down? Mountain King, Archmage. At this stage in the game, whoever gets a level 5 Archmage first may come out ahead. Level 5 Archmage would, coupled with these Obsidian statues, would give one side significantly more mana, especially if they went for level 3 Brilliance Aura. And then with that, be able to funnel, tip the scales in their favor with more healing from the Priest and the Obsidian statues, and just more onslaught of Death Coil, Frost Nova, and Stormbolt. Alright, Water Elemental quickly caught out on the battlefield here and easily taken out. Both sides are trying to engage. Are we going to see a Stormbolt onto a unit? There's a Stormbolt onto the Lich. Lich currently in a little bit of trouble. There's Blizzard, retrained a Blizzard. Mountain King in that frontline spot as both sides are still fighting across here. There's more Blizzard. There's Scroll of Healing. The Spellbreakers could be in trouble. Archmage could continue to just rack down Blizzards right there as we see a Death Coil finding that Lich right now. Alright, more Obsidian statues taking more damage. They're being forced to retreat back. Is the Archmage going to be able to, well, perhaps land down more Blizzards again, as we do see a Silence go onto the Archmage, preventing that exact thing from happening. There's more Blizzard in that frontline spot. We're going to see a Death Coil finding one Crypt Fiend. Are the other Crypt Fiends going to be able to back away in time? Yes, it looks like that will be happening, as the retech into Blizzard really working well. Alright, Death Coil, Stormbolt, finding an Abomination. There's more Blizzard right there. Spellbreakers trying to get in the position there. More Silence onto the Archmage. And, well, we see why Blizzard isn't necessarily going to work out well, but if the Mountain King survives at 6 hit points, and we're still looking at more Blizzard raining down there, so Mountain King could be in a little bit of trouble, being forced to retreat all the way to the back, as we're still looking at Obsidian Statue. Wow, this Obsidian Statue getting caught right there. Both sides still continuing to fight. More Blizzard raining down, and again, who is coming down with more damage? Mountain King coming across from the backside, falls at level 3. The teal Mountain King ran around the forest in order to, find that Mountain King in the backfield and finish him off. However, still more damage raining down here. This is a lot of damage getting eaten up by all of these units. Archmage is pretty much still unchallenged at this point, but that is a lot of low hit point obsidian statues that need to get taken out in order for it to be really effective. Archmage now gets up to level 5, going up compared to this one. There's level 4. Level 5 Archmage is no level 3. No, didn't even train the ability yet. Could go, no, did go for level 3 Blizzard, and with that is going to be 50 damage per wave. Mountain King now out here on the battlefield, perhaps looking to just run around. Still more Blizzard raining down. Death Knight gets up to level 5. Lich gets a big heal, but I don't believe it was a 600 point heal either, as the Spellbreakers are finally able to make their way and break their way through. All right, Archmage low on mana now, and here's the question: was level 3 Blizzard the right call, or level 3 Brilliance, or for all of these low hit point obsidian statues the better deal there, as we're going to be looking at some obsidian statues falling in the backfield. All right, Stormbolt or Bash there. Mountain King falls at level 3. This Mountain King still in trouble. Potion of Invulnerability on that Lich. Mountain King gets up to level 4, but still doesn't have enough mana for a Stormbolt just quite yet. Both sides still fighting their way through. This is a massive battle in the center portion, but the Blizzard is still raining down and, well, racked up damage on everything. Death Knight now down in trouble, down to 63 hit points. He's trying to retreat back. He falls to a Lich auto attack. So much damage right there, as we're now still getting plenty of Blizzard down. Lich falls at level 4 as well. So, well, level 5 Death Knight, level 4 Lich. There's a Death Coil, and this battle is still raging on in the center portion of the map, trying to eat through. There goes an Abomination there. There goes a Spellbreaker, as the Archmage is already halfway up to level 6. Lich is sitting now at level 5. Level 3 Frost Nova. There goes an Archmage, and this drawn-out battle in the center portion of the map really taking its toll. A battle of attrition on both sides. Archmage sitting at level 5 should be able to get up to 75 mana here in just a second. Mountain King gonna perhaps, well, get enough mana. No, not gonna have that. Finally, a long drawn out battle. Staff of Teleportation. Are we gonna see a Stormbolt? Lich has nowhere to run. What happened here? Did the Lich get stopped? There's a Scroll of Town Portal instead. Lich, yeah, not quite sure. It looked like he was trying to buy a Scroll of Town Portal, just needed a little bit more gold. All right, this gold mine has mined 7,000, or has lost 7,000 gold, but it is also important to note that this is the only gold being mined on the map. 120 and Romantic is completely out of gold here, and we are going to be coming across a fight. There's a massive amount of Blizzard raining down damage. Crypt Fiends are going to be forced to try and back away there. A quick abolish magic there, or Dispel magic, finishing things off. More Blizzard finding targets. Well, on the back line wave here, as the Archmage forced to retreat back, doesn't want to take that much damage, as some easy Spellbreakers should just get cleaned up here. Death Knight sitting at level 4, going to be forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal to retreat back. Death Knight sitting at level 5, still pushing their way through. Half of the army is now retreated back here. Happy's Obsidian statues, one already down, another could get taken down, as the Spellbreakers getting surrounded by peasants to get cleaned up. Meanwhile, the army of Happy now back off to the north, going to try and pincer a little bit of a play here. There goes the Arcane Tower. Happy going to lose another Obsidian statue. There's, well, some more damage onto the Death Knight, down to 200 hit points, down to 61. Potion of Invulnerability transferred, I believe, off to the Death Knight. I did not see a Lich nearby. I believe it was the Mountain King who transferred that over. Partners indeed, as the Mountain King could be in trouble here. Death Knight, is he going to just use a Death Coil? Why not? There's the Death Coil, as the Mountain King forced to retreat back. Archmage now gets up to level 6. Gonna have mass teleport. Mountain King gets in a lucky bash, as the, well, Crypt Fiend gets an in-time Death Coil as well. All right, what do we have today? A crazy 2v2 battle back and forth here. The only gold mine left by Sock trying to get cleared up. Death Knight could be in trouble of Happy. Once Death Knight is lost, Happy may throw in the towel, and that is going to be the case. Death Knight falls at level 4, and what a game going back and forth. 120 carrying the majority of the game here. Happy, well, Happy doing his best to hold on. Sock, surprisingly, with the highest resource score, mining 50% more gold than anyone else, and still having the lowest score, not being able to, well, cranked out the units, but the units were just not sticking around. Also curious on who did the most damage. The retrain to Blizzard having a great impact on that fight. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.